Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Poke Suit Channel and the Guitar Ladder System. Hey, I'm at kind of an interesting point right now, and I think this is a great time, by the way, to jump into the Guitar Ladder System. But if you can't afford the 199, I understand. And I was getting burned out on sending out samples because I just don't have a lot of time to follow up and do email drips and keep bugging people and reminding them and pushing them. It's like I'm at a point in my life where I don't. I'm kind of semi-retired. I don't really have to stress about working and making money and things like that. But really, the whole thing with me in the beginning about guitar and music was just the love of music and love of guitar. And I wanted to see how far I could take it. That's the gospel truth. I just wanted to see, how good I could get and how expressive I could be and what ideas and compositions the universe and God could flow through me and I could create. And I wouldn't trade it. I probably would have made a lot more money doing something else like real estate or whatever. But I've done some entrepreneurial things as well. But anyway, I decided to be cool and share and not worry about whether I sell the course or not. I really, part of me wants to say I don't care, but I do care because I want to see people expand. I want to see people grow. I want to see people evolve as musicians. And I want to see people get more out of the time that they practice on the guitar. If you work on the right things on guitar, just like lifting weights or anything, if you do the right things, you're going to get a lot more results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer study 1 and study 2 for free. And if you decide you want to invest in the Guitar Ladder System, it's 100 studies. I don't send it all at once. It's not effective that way. What I do is I seed the subconscious mind. We create a musical folder. We create like a guitar teacher in your own subconscious mind. And your own subconscious mind is so powerful, it's going to compare and contrast. And it's going to teach you things. And we don't have to get into big, long left brain explanations. I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people don't get better on guitar is because they're too into control. They think they have to, and they're too into trying to define everything. I studied with Joe Pass for a while, and one of his favorite sayings was "Simplify your thinking." Simplify your thinking. Music and art is different than putting a piece of furniture together or rebuilding a car engine. And Wes Montgomery was self-taught, and Wes Montgomery, in my mind. Now, Joe Pass played really great standards and things like that, but Wes Montgomery, I think, was, and I hate to put it this way, but I think he was the greatest jazz player ever because, his single note line, not just his octave work, but his single note lines were like polished gems. There was no throwaway notes. Everything was part of an idea. Everything had harmonic and melodic content. Everything was flowing from idea to idea and connected in a way that was so beautiful, and it's just unbelievable. The other night I sat here and watched a Wes Montgomery video on YouTube that I've seen many times before, and I almost felt like I saw it for the first time because you just learn so much when you watch somebody at that level. And I guess he got inspired by watching Charlie Christian when he was 19, listening to Charlie Christian, who was one of the first players to really do beautiful lines on guitar. But anyway, I could talk about this shit all day, but anyway, so cycle 1, which I'll send you a video and a chart for, and cycle 2. Now, I don't go into big, long explanations of this because great music uses many different systems of improvisation. And if you want, you can do a search on YouTube for my 10 systems of improvisation. But if you're always analyzing and saying, well, this is the 5 chord of this, and this is, I'm not saying it's bad to do, but at some point it's really going to hold you back. You just need to learn chord families. If you learn my 100 studies, you're going to have a really good feel for how chords connect in a beautiful way, and it's going to augment your playing no matter what you play. It's not just for jazz guitar. So anyway, the best thing to do is just do my studies and not think about it, and there's like 2 or 3 different ways that I suggest for people to practice, but I'm not going to go into it now. For now, here's study 1. This guitar is 675, by the way. Samick JZ3. It sounds really good. The weather's been changing a lot. So it makes next change. You can also take cycle 1 and add the diminished, like that, moving the diminished in minor thirds. Sometimes I'll throw in the 7 sharp 9, throw in the major 9 6 with 7 on top to a bichord. That's not in the actual cycle, but that's the whole point. You do the cycles, and next thing you know, you're going here and you're going here and you're moving here and you're finding this and you're doing some type of something on your guitar you've never done before. It wakes up your musical ear, wakes up your musical mind. It creates a musical ear. It creates a musical mind. It creates like a musical folder in your subconscious mind, which is extremely powerful. Now, cycle 2 uses this very close to cycle 1, but then you have the shading. And there's many different ways to work this, but you're shading with the major 13 flat 5, which is a beautiful chord, by the way. Here I throw it in again. And when you go through, cycle 2, you want to, kind of mess around with that major 13 flat 5 sounds. The major 13 flat 5, you can even do a cycle major 13 to or minor 7 to major 13 flat 5. When you find something that works, you want to milk it. It's like I always spend an hour or two a day, and when I was young and practicing 12 hours a day, I used to spend, at least 3 or 4 hours a day doing this. But if you're always exploring new harmonic territory, you're going to grow much, much quicker. So that can be a nice cycle. The minor 7 to the major 13 flat 5 is a really nice thing. So when you find something that works, you want to explore it, And you can use common tone, like here, as you can see, I'm repeating that note. Just hear that? I'm repeating that common tone. Now I can take that idea. So the idea is to keep feeding your musical mind, and it starts to grow, and even when you're sleeping, it's assimilating the content. And I keep just going back to Wes Montgomery. My God, that his musical content and his lines were so beautiful, so melodic. It's like God disguised as a jazz guitar player. I think somebody said that once about Michael Jordan too. But anyway, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to offer 2 studies. It would be great if you invested the $199 in the Guitar Ladder System, but if it's not something you can afford right now, I understand, But it will last you for a long time. It's a really good value. It's thousands of dollars of information. And so again, cycle 1. And I don't send the whole program at once. It's not effective that way. And that's from, 30 years of research and development, And then cycle 2, and you can put the major 13 flat 5 in many different places in cycle 2. And then I tell people, I can say, here, now I'm improvising off cycle 2. But cycle 2, you're learning to use that minor 7 to major 13 flat 5, which is just, I don't hear a lot of people use the major 13 flat 5 a lot, and I don't get it because it's such a beautiful chord. I can cycle those down like this. It's a really nice modern sound. It resolves nicely to the major 13 flat 9. See if I do that. If I go, that's a whole nother cycle. Maybe. You'll find when you start working the Guitar Ladder System, you'll just start playing your guitar, and next thing you know, you're going all over the place, but not just going all over the place in random chords, in a way that's cohesive, has musical melodic content, has a very musical quality to where it sounds interesting, but also smooth and buttery. It's very hard to explain this. It's like, the best way I could explain it is tell you to listen to Miles Davis, Kinda Blue, because you learn to use knowledge in a way that sounds musical, and it's not too predictable, but not so unpredictable where people can't, yeah, I really like that. That sounds really good. Good example would be this. This string is stretching out. But anyway, I'll send cycle 1 and 2, okay, for free. Just send me your email address. I'll throw a couple of videos in too. And if you really want to make some progress on guitar, consider investing the $199. I'm not going to send you a million emails trying to bug you about it, but if you really love guitar and it's about self-discovery. If you want to discover your unique musical ideas buried deep in your subconscious mind right now, the Guitar Ladder System is the key to discovering them. I'm not kidding. It really works. It really is an interesting thing. But cycle 1's cool. Major 7, diminished, kind of a passing chord. Minor, you can call it minor 2 if you have passing chord 3. But if you dissect this in a diatonic, the problem with music is if you try to put it into a category like diatonic, then all of a sudden you're breaking rules because this chord should be this and this should be this. Music is different. It's different. You got to have a freedom. You have to have kind of a Zen component to it. But the thing is, if you learn improvisational tools like the 10 systems of improvisation, but you learn them in an organic fashion, like my guitar ladder system has, then you learn them on a subconscious level. Just like when you eat food, you don't have to tell your brain what enzymes to use to digest food, and you don't have the running the physiology of your body is such an absolute freaking miracle what the subconscious mind does. I don't think most people realize the giant that they have sitting inside their skull. Our subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but most people don't use it to help them. It ends up messing them up because of the ego, because the ego is insane and it tries to get people in trouble. But that's a whole nother rap. But music is such a beautiful thing. I happen to believe the entire universe is music. It's all, the universe is a study in simplicity, and everything is sweet musical math. It's a whole nother rap. I have a system called Time-Aligned Transformation Lock, which is a metaphysical system to help people learn to use the subconscious mind. I do a lot of life coaching, and I have a system to help people even do simple things like manifest more money and prosperity, be happier, learn about the laws of the universe and how to cooperate with them to make your life more joyful, as corny as that might sound. But anyway, for now, I'm giving away, if anybody is interested in the life coaching, they can get in touch with me. I'm really reasonable right now. I'm like $1 a minute. You can just do a half-hour session. My suggestion is if you've never gone to a shrink, or you think most shrinks are crazy, which a lot of them are, or you don't get much out of a therapist, because most of these people are in a box. They're not very holistic. I've been meditating for 37 years. I'm really into consciousness development. I believe that you're not your mind, you're not your body, you're not your thoughts. You're a spiritual being unfolding in time in a human form, and you're a center, or you're a century of consciousness in an ocean of spirit, and you have tremendous potential. But it's about being on purpose with the universe, because you're an idea in the one mind, and the more that you cooperate with that idea and learn to design a life that's more joyful, the happier you'll be. But you can use, I have techniques and tools to help you learn to cooperate with the laws of nature, and even help you manifest more money. And that's it. Like I said, I only charge like $30 a half an hour right now. It's a really good situation. But anyway, for now, cycle 1. I'll send you cycle 2 to go with it, where we add some shading with the major 13 flat 5, and you can learn to cycle that. But all the different studies in my guitar ladder system, like I said, they incorporate the 10 different systems of improvisation, and they combine them because, like I said, music if you think too much about music, you're not going to be musical. Because I've had people send me CDs and they just suck, you know, they're just so stiff, you know. But in practice, if you learn studies, even Joe Pass said it's the chordal resolution that really builds musicality in your musical ear and your musical mind. Pat Metheny said the same thing. Eric Johnson too. It's that improvisation, chordal improvisation, really builds up your musical ear, your musical mind. And the guitar ladder system will create a musical folder, in your subconscious mind that will be like your inner teacher, and it will start taking all the different components of the different studies and putting them together and hooking them together. And it's so fun, the emails I get from people on the growth. It really makes me happy because one of my purposes in life is to help other musicians grow as musicians and grow as artists. Whether you're professional or not, that's not the point, and learn to discover your own unique musical ideas. No better high on the planet than writing your own little piece of music. So I rest my case. You can hit me up, email stevezook7@yahoo.com. That's the number 7, not spelled out. STEVEZOOK, the number 7, not spelled out, just the number 7 at yahoo.com, or text or call 714-548-0385. I might not always be able to talk if somebody calls me. I got a lot going on. But anyway, I've decided to be cool. 2 free guitar ladder system studies. You can begin to get a feel for it. And like I said, if you just really love guitar, if you want to see how far you can take it, that like I said, that was I'm 67, but when I was in my early 20s, I studied with Joe Pass. I saw Yes and saw Steve Howe live. I saw Paco de Lucia live. I saw, John McLaughlin, different musicians that just Joe Pass, who I ended up studying with, and different musicians just really inspired me. And I wanted to see just how far I could take it, not as an ego trip, although the ego did help me practice 12 hours a day. But you don't have to practice 6 to 12 hours a day. That's really the thing about the guitar ladder system. I can shave years off your progress. And if you even just spend 45 minutes a day on the guitar ladder system, you're going to make a lot more progress. I know it sounds really arrogant and egotistical, but you're going to reach a level of understanding music and playing that you'll never reach without the guitar ladder system if you invest the $199. So you can order at stevezookguitars.com. Just scroll down the homepage to the PayPal thing. You do not have to be a member of PayPal. And if you put in the comment box code 78977, then I'll sign you up for some bonus material. If you don't see the comment box, just email that to me. Prefer you email that to me at pokezoo@gmail.com. But anyway, I think I better stop so this uploads. I just had a Zone, which is a protein drink, because I work out with weights and stuff. And I really want to stress, if you want to be the best guitar player you can be and the best composer you can be, don't party a lot, Don't drink a lot. That really lowers your energy. It really lowers your psychic connection with the universe and the one mind if you overdo the partying. So, do a little of this here and there, but sometimes I won't have a glass of wine or a beer for a couple months. All I'm saying, if every day you're having a few drinks, it's not good. All right, I'll shut the hell up. Talk to you later. Let's all be positive. Let's all join together. Let's all join together subconsciously in the unconscious collective. Let's all be positive, and when we're positive, we help the universe unfold. And remember, the universe is unfolding in time, not unraveling. Ciao.